Everybody, welcome back to Drug Talk. As always, I'm your host, Garrett Campbell. In today's video, I want to give an update to two videos I've made in the past talking about my personal experience with Wellbutrin, as I've now made it to the 1 month mark of therapy with this medication. The last two videos I made about this topic were why I was starting the medication early this year as it pertains to my bipolar disorder, as well as an update after using the medication for 1 week. So this video will be an extension of those two videos, and I'll touch on some things that I covered in those videos as well. So first, just before we get into my personal experience with the medication, I just want to kind of lay out that graph that we talked about in the last video, just for people who are watching this video that didn't watch the 1 week update. So in that video, I just kind of talked about when you start an antidepressant, the side effects seem to happen early on and then kind of taper off as your body gets used to the medication. But then unfortunately, efficacy or the effectiveness of the medication kind of starts off slow and then gradually gets better over time. And around the 1 month or the 2 month mark, you usually see maximum benefit. So I definitely think I'm now at that time on that graph where I've passed the point where the side effects are the main thing that I'm concerned about, and I'm starting to really realize the benefit of the medication. So the main three side effects that I talked about last time, I said that my anxiety was kind of through the roof. It was the worst anxiety I've really ever experienced. And I've experienced anxiety throughout my life with my episodes of depression as it pertains to bipolar disorder. But this was different. I feel like once I started the medication, it really did pick up. So I do think it was attributed to the medication. But in terms of anxiety, I do still have some anxiety. I'm not using clonazepam as much as I was at that first week interval. But I'm still using it here and there. So the anxiety still is persisting. It's just not as intense. It's not as severe as it was around the 1 week mark. So that has gotten much better. In terms of dry mouth or xerostomia, there's still a little bit of dry mouth here and there, but it's not bothering me whatsoever. It's definitely improved since the 1 week mark. Again, I just drink extra water throughout the day, and that kind of seems to take care of that side effect. But again, I'm not really experiencing that as much as I was 3 weeks ago. The other side effect I talked about was a rapid heart rate, and I wasn't sure if the rapid heart rate was associated with the anxiety I was experiencing or if it was just a cause of the medication, as I do think bupropion can cause a rapid heart rate greater than 10% of the time in 10% of individuals. But again, this side effect could be because the anxiety has subsided a bit, or could just be because my body is used to the medication, but I'm no longer experiencing a rapid heart rate at all. Now, in terms of the most important part, my depressive thoughts or the symptoms of depression that I'm experiencing, first thing that I will say, a main symptom of depression that I experience personally is that fatigue, that somnolence, just that drowsiness throughout the day. You lack that drive, you want to stay in bed in the morning. So that has gone away. This medication has definitely given me my energy back, and I feel like my energy levels are back to the point where they were before I started experiencing depression. So thinking back to July, thinking back to August, I feel like I'm back in that mindset and definitely back to those same energy levels that were existing back then. Now, there is still some negative thoughts going through my mind. I do still feel like I'm caught in one of those times where unless I intentionally try to think of a positive thought, my mind will still default to a negative thought. Now, this was a lot more intense before I started the medication. It was more intense at the 1 week mark. But now it is less intense, but I do still find, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain that. I'm still having the thoughts. They're less intense in that there's no suicidal thoughts, there's no suicidal ideation, but the lack of confidence is still there, and just negative thoughts in general. My mind seems to default to those thoughts. So I did make the decision today, starting today at the 1 month mark, to increase the medication from 150 milligrams, double it to 300 milligrams. Now, last winter, I did use 300 milligrams as well, and it was very beneficial for me. So I just don't want to miss out on any potential benefit that I may get from increasing the dose, and I really don't think it's going to cause any harm. So I think at this point, based on how things are going, I think it's the right move. Now, I do have my first appointment in about 3 years with a psychiatrist, actually later on this evening. So I'm going to run all these medication changes and this dose increase by him and kind of get his approval that he thinks this is the right move. But he was actually the original prescriber. He prescribed this medication to me when I was in the hospital, because we kind of talked about that I may need it during the winter times because of the depression associated with bipolar disorder. I'm definitely really happy that I made the choice to start the medication early, like I talked about 2 videos ago with this topic. Last year I started the medication kind of at the end of October when my depression was already very severe. So then I had to wait over a month to get the max benefit, and it just wasn't a good situation. So this year I started it early at about mid-September, I believe, or late September, and I really noticed the benefit a lot this year, and I don't have to go through, hopefully, that rough time at the end of October like I did last year. So just to recap, on that graph, side effects start quick, taper off. Efficacy kind of starts off slow and then goes up. So I'm past that transition point where side effects are the main thing. I'm now experiencing benefit and less side effects. So I'm kind of in that good zone of where the medication has really taken effect. Side effects in terms of anxiety, rapid heart rate, and dry mouth have all subsided. Still a little bit of anxiety. And lastly, the thoughts of depression are still there, but they're less intense. Increasing the medication to 300 milligrams just to kind of get added benefit if there is any. Again, I don't want to miss out on any potential benefit that I could receive from the increase in dose. So I'm just going to do it. If the side effects come back, I'll deal with that. But I think getting rid of the depressive thoughts is the most important thing at this time. Let me know in the comments section if you guys want me to give another update down the line after using 300 milligrams. I could do a 2-month update or maybe a 4-month update, whatever you guys think. If you're enjoying these reviews and just kind of showing my own personal experience with this medication, kind of from start to finish. Other than that, that's all I really have to talk about today in this video. As always, I'm very thankful you took the time to come and watch one of my videos. And again, if you want to support the channel or help the channel grow, you can like the videos, share the videos, or most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And remember, there's also some links in the description you can check out as well. All right, that's it for today. Take care.